The Hartley Show is an entertainment program and does not own any of the copyrighted material featured in this episode. All copyrighted material featured will be used as fair use for the purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, and/or research. Taki. Oh, hey there! Today on The Hartley Show, I'm going to talk about these two wonderful hardcover omnibuses and the new Secret Wars hardcover. Hey. So I'm going to talk about a few omnibuy and one hardcover that I just bought recently that I'm quite thrilled with, but I have technical problems with. So first up, I'm going to show you an example of what a perfect omnibuy or omnibus edition is. Here we got Marvel's Acts of Vengeance. I think this was produced in 2011, and when you open it up, look at that, almost from the first page, almost, it lies flat, and the pages stay open. When you open it, every page, look at that. Flat. The book doesn't want to close itself. That, to me, is the perfect omnibus edition. And this is what due to the stitch binding and not the glue binding. Second example of this is the Rick Remender Punisher edition, which is relevant to people that are all fans of Daredevil Season 2. Great stuff. It could be used as somewhat of a precursor to getting into the Punisher character, although this particular volume does take really the approach of Frank Miller and immersed in the world of superheroes, so probably not the best thing to read before you check out Daredevil Season 2. But once again, look at this. You open it up right from the get-go. It's flat. Not much effort required. Oh, look, it wanted to close for a second there, but it didn't, because this has good binding and it's sexy, and that's the way a proper omnibus edition should be. Well, I awkwardly fumbled with this. Now, I just recently got the Secret Wars edition hardcover, and this does not have the stitch binding. And actually, I think it does have stitch binding, but it's stitch and glue. So it does sort of lie flat, but it wants to close itself, as you can see. Page after page, it wants to close itself. Now, the good thing about this is that Jonathan Hickman, when he writes stuff, he seems to have adapted this style that works for hardcover collected editions so you don't get gutter loss, which is to say that he doesn't create a lot of double-page spreads in his books. Most pages are indeed just one-page pages that don't require the double-page spread, so you won't see much in the way of gutter loss. From what I recall, I think there is one scene in this hardcover that does have a double-page spread, and there is a hint of gutter loss, but overall, this is a pretty solid volume. I will say this does have I do have a complaint that we see oftentimes in these first edition Marvel hardcovers that I don't know if you can see that, you probably can't, but the pages are slightly warped, and this is due to a lesser paper quality.
We can see it.
You can see it. You guys can see it on camera even.
I can see it from here.
And another little complaint I have was you can see it from sitting right next to me. Wow, what vision. So one thing I also wanted to complain about too is they have the little AR tab here. The AR tab, which should indicate you can scan it with your device, your mobile device or your tablet, and it will give you some sort of story. This doesn't work. When you look for the available AR books, Secret Wars isn't included in it. What's the use of this stupid little pile of crap right here? Annoying, but overall good volume. It does have some good additional stuff in the back, I think. Oh, no, wait, I'm wrong. No, I'm right. There it is. You get the extra covers. You got all the covers in the back, and I think they have the Secret Wars issue 0 from Free Comic Book Day right there. A fun volume, and if you haven't read Secret Wars yet, this might be the best way for you to read it. A hell of a good storyline, and what this has done is this is the springboard for the current Marvel Universe continuity and whatnot. A heck of a good read. Not the best quality volume in the hardcover, but not the worst quality either by any stretch of the imagination. Next up, this is the biggest omnibuy I've ever seen, and certainly the biggest one I own, the Doom Patrol Complete Grant Morrison Doom Patrol Omnibus Edition. You could kill someone with this. I mean, feel that, Troy, right? I think Troy just threw out his shoulder. There you go. This thing's amazing. And look at the size of this. And it's got this beautiful wraparound cover thing, too. Check this bad boy out. Oh, this is so sexy. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, come on. This is just sexy on top of it, huh? Noise. So, first off, let's take a look. When we try to open it up, it doesn't really want to stay open. This is one of these volumes that will fight with you every step of the way. You can see it doesn't even really want to lie flat there. Having said that, this volume is still beautiful. The paper is actually quite nice, but like I say, it actually requires some effort on your behalf to keep it closed. I know this is a minor nitpick, but it's sort of a giant nitpick at the same time, because when you're reading a giant 20-pound volume like this, you know, it's kind of nice to not have to need both hands for it. Like, say I'm trying to drink a cup of coffee. How hard is that? Come on, I'm trying to drink the coffee and it's like some weird comedy routine that isn't really funny, but just mildly tragic. But this thing is just a great volume. Anybody who knows anything about sort of adultish comics knows that this is one of the seminal DC works, one of the seminal works in comics from Grant Morrison, who introduces characters like the Brotherhood of Dada and the Painting That Ate Paris. This stuff is great. It also includes the really funny and sign of its time X-Force book in the end that makes fun of the world of Image back in the day, where artists are trying to replicate the crap art from Rob Liefeld et al. From the world of Image. This includes also introductions from various other collected editions, and I almost can't recommend this book enough. If you're a snob about the way you like your hardcovers bound, this might not be for you, but if you like good comics and all in one volume, holy crap is this for you. And on that note, moving on to almost the exact same sort of thing, we have the complete Grant Morrison Animal Man. This does suffer from the same problems as the Doom Patrol hardcover, Omnibuy. It lies a little flatter, but as you can see, still the same problem. It wants to close itself. Wants to close itself. I don't have anything funny to say about that, Troy.
You really don't. It's
sad. It wants to close itself like that hair thing on Donald Trump's head wants to take over all of humanity? I don't know.
That's weak.
We're all assuming that thing on Donald Trump's head is an alien life form, right? Right?
That doesn't want to close?
Oh, and before actually, before I go away with this thing, put this away, I also want to show you how fantastic this cover is. Just fantastic. And I think that's actually Brian Bolland's thumb right there. Look at that. A really good volume, but again, if you're a bit of a snob or a perfectionist with your hardcovers, this might not be for you. So there you have it, the complete Grant Morrison Doom Patrol, the complete Grant Morrison Animal Man, and the ever delightful and complete as well, of course, Secret Wars hardcover. As always, a giant thanks to you for watching. A massive thanks to Taz for letting us film here.